Hello, this video is going to walk you through how to use the inbox section of the software. So from inside an account from the home dashboard, you'll see on the far right there is an inbox tab. Now you might see a little red number in the top right corner here that indicates how many unread messages are currently in your inbox. If I click on the tab, it will take me inside the inbox section. Now everything here is set up chronologically, so the most recent conversation will populate at the top of the list. If the row is in bold, that indicates that this message has not been read yet. If I click into the row and any of the empty space here, it'll change from bold to not bold, indicating that this message has been read. Now, if I want to change this back to unread, I can click on this checkbox and mark as unread at the top. Going back here, the name column here, if you click on someone's name, it's going to take you to their LinkedIn profile. The rest of this contact information will populate directly from LinkedIn. Latest activity here will be the latest message either from you or the prospect. This will indicate which campaign they came from. Our label column is really important. I always tell people to use this section as much as possible. We do have a separate video on how to utilize labels and how to set them up. But just as a start here, I could change this person's label by clicking in here and setting up the label that way. Now, if I want to sort by a label, I can do so by clicking this top label box here. Now I could mark anybody that I have marked with this label. All right, going back to the main inbox here. This status column is also important, but it's not something that you really need to manually change. This will automatically update as people move through your funnel of messages. Again, I recommend not changing this because it could pull people out of an automation if they already are in one. Now, if I wanted to pull someone out of an automation, I could click on this and mark either as talking, replied, or no interest, and that will pull them out of any sequence I have them in. That should be the only time you need to update that status column. All right, now going over to the right-hand side, you'll see the messages will populate here. The newest message will always be at the top, and as I scroll back through the history of the conversation, you can see all the way at the bottom is going to be the first message that was sent to this person. Anything that this account has sent will be in gray, and anything that this prospect has sent will be in blue. If I want to respond with a message, I put my cursor here where it says type message, and I can manually type out a response. Once I hit send down here, it's going to send as a LinkedIn direct message. To give myself a starting point for responding, I can utilize our response messages from this drop-down above. There is a separate video on response messages. I highly recommend watching that video and using these as much as possible. But just to show you how to do that quickly here, I would click into my list. I would pick the message I'd like, and it will populate down here in the type message section. Now I can, of course, change this message before I send it as well. All right, scrolling down here, you'll see a button that says continue sending messages. What this button does is throws someone back into an automated sequence to be put in line to receive the next follow-up message. I like to use this maybe if someone responds initially with a thumbs up and it doesn't warrant me writing out a brand new response, I can put them back into the sequence of messages I've already set up in my campaign by clicking on this message. Webhooks are also a fun feature. There is a separate intricate video on this as well, but essentially a webhook can help push information from the software to an outside software. So maybe a CRM that you might use, even a Google Sheet. There's lots of use cases here. So if you're interested in connecting our software with another in any way, please check out the webhook video. All right, below that is our contact info section. This will populate with whatever the prospect has allowed LinkedIn to pull. You can update this manually. So if someone maybe sends you a different email address or their phone number, you can update that here for yourself as well. Just make sure you hit the save button as you go. You can also leave yourself notes. This is only for anyone that has access to your account in the software. And you can leave yourself a note indicating maybe some aspect of the prospect that you'd like to indicate for yourself or remind yourself of. The tag feature is also a great feature to utilize. Please check out the separate video on that. But essentially what that allows you to do is add tags that might be multiple tags per person. Since our label feature only allows one label per prospect, tags will allow you to have multiple on top of that. Lots of use cases here, so again, please watch that video for more information. I'm going to scroll back up to the top here because there's a few extra features I can show you at the very top right corner here next to the prospect's name. This little message bubble with a plus sign will add someone to a messenger campaign. There's also a video on this, but essentially a messenger campaign is reaching out to someone you're already connected to. So instead of putting this person back into a connector campaign, you could add them to a brand new messenger campaign to start a brand new sequence. If I click on this icon here, it will allow me to pick the campaign I want to add them to, and I can indicate now, or I can pick a later time for them to be added. Once I hit add to messenger, that will put that person in the new queue. This little heart button will like this person's last LinkedIn post. The thumbs up will endorse their top 3 skills on LinkedIn. The bell icon will allow you to add a reminder for yourself. So if I click on the icon here, I can pick a day and time to be reminded from this dropdown. I can leave myself a note as to why I want to respond, and I'll save the reminder. Now on the day that's been indicated, you will see a little bell icon show up at the top here, and that will have a number next to it, which will tell you how many outstanding notifications you have for yourself, and once you click on it, it will take you directly to that conversation. All right, the rest of these features will tell you this is which campaign it came from. This will also take you to their LinkedIn profile. This will copy this conversation if you'd like to share it, and this will minimize the conversation. All right, those are the basics of how to use the inbox feature. Again, please watch all those extra videos on the features that can be utilized here, and let your admin know if you have any extra questions. Thank you so much.